Welcome to this 2-hour special packed with curiosities you won't want to miss. From the mysteries of nature and advances in technology to incredible stories of famous people, impressive records and discoveries that are changing the world. All this and much more today on Callan the Curious. In Japan, a TV game is going viral and conquering the world. Blow Cockroach. The game involves two young people placing their mouths on the ends of a plastic tube containing a cockroach. In simple terms, they must blow with all their might to make the insect end up in their opponent's mouth. I abstain from playing it. And you? A dog has been spotted in Chile that could easily be nominated as the best guard of 2024. You have to earn your daily bread, so this little dog takes his job of guarding the premises and the customers who visit it very seriously. Originating in India, Mehendi is a temporary body art that involves applying intricate designs to the skin using a henna-based paste. Mehendi designs are very varied, from floral and geometric motifs to religious and cultural symbols. As well as being beautiful, they are believed to have healing properties and are used as amulets to bring good luck. These designs are usually reddish-brown in color, and this is how they eventually become ingrained in the skin. This is Craig Castaldo, better known as Radio Man, a unique character who could only exist in New York. This 73-year-old Vietnam War veteran spent several years wandering the streets of America, but managed to make a place for himself in the world of cinema, thanks to his passion for filming. For more than 30 years, Radio Man has been an exceptional witness to countless filmings in New York. He made a living selling autographed photographs of movie stars, which made him a living legend. His constant appearances on set caught the attention of directors, who began to invite him to participate in countless films. Today, his fame has allowed him to get a job at a newspaper stand, get away from his addiction to drink, and win the affection of many actors. British racing driver Lando Norris has taken to the Silverstone circuit in the fully functional life-size Lego Technic McLaren P1. The car was built from 342,817 Lego bricks and, as well as being visually stunning, is fully drivable thanks to a combination of Lego Technic batteries and a standard electric motor. The build, which weighs 2,689 pounds, took more than 8,000 hours of work from a team of 23 specialists. Peruvian production company Cygnus has confirmed the production of a live-action Dragon Ball with the release of a trailer. This production will be a short film titled The Legend of Goku, and so far Dante Rubio, who plays Goku, has been shown performing stunts and preparing a Kamehameha. It is worth remembering that to date the live-action adaptations of Dragon Ball have been a very controversial topic among anime fans. Do you think this short will make a difference? Let me know your opinion in the comments. This is how you wrap bottles, just using hot water. Curious, isn't it? Considered one of the most dangerous sports in Peru, the Tobogán Macho is a hill over 280 meters high, located in the province of Cañete in Lima. In this challenge, the participants, men, women, and children, compete to run down in the shortest time possible without any protection in a free fall full of stones and sand, until they reach the finish line in the central plaza of Cuyo. If you wish to participate, the contest takes place once a year, between September and October during the Loquat Festival. He was Matt Steen, a boy who was diagnosed with an incurable disease at the age of 4, which gradually took away his mobility until he was confined to a wheelchair, and his only escape was playing World of Warcraft, which did not seem good to his parents, since they felt that he was wasting his life in the game. Everything changed when, after his death, at the age of 25, his parents began to receive numerous emails of condolences and positive messages about their son. It was then that they realized that Mats had actually led another life through his character Evelyn. All of his interactions within the game were recorded, and with it, they made a documentary called The Singular Life of Evelyn, which you can watch on Netflix. Priyanjali Gupta, a third-year engineering student at Vellore Institute of Technology in India, has created an artificial intelligence model that instantly translates American Sign Language into English. The young woman, who is a software developer at Microsoft, has revolutionized inclusive technology with her creation. The idea for this project came about during a conversation with her mother, who motivated her to develop something meaningful for her career. Young Stefan Jankovic captured on video the moment he encountered a bear after entering its cave out of curiosity. It was a huge scare that fortunately did not go any further because, if it had been an adult bear, the outcome would probably have been very different. The world's longest train journey spans 18,755 kilometers and can take up to 21 days without stopping. Starting in Lagos, Portugal, and ending at the Singapore Strait, this extensive journey passes through 13 countries including Portugal, France, Russia, China, Laos, Thailand, Malaysia, and Singapore. Along the way, mandatory stops are made in cities such as Lisbon, Paris, Moscow, Beijing, Bangkok, and Kuala Lumpur, among others. Despite its length and the need to make transfers at some stops, this journey offers a more sustainable option compared to flying, emitting significantly less CO2 throughout the journey. You may not know that there is a peculiar way to make popcorn without using oil. In China, they prepare this snack, which is essential when watching a movie, using a method in which the corn is placed in a container that builds up pressure while it is heated. After a few minutes, the built-up pressure is released, generating an explosion that makes the corn expand and turn into popcorn. Living in southeastern Brazil, the royal flycatcher is a bird with distinctive plumage. However, the most striking feature is its hairdo or crest, which looks like a fan of vibrant colors like red and blue. And why does it have this crest? It's like a gala suit that it uses to attract females during courtship. When it wants to impress, it raises that crest and displays it like a peacock. In Madeira, Portugal, there is a fruit called Monstera deliciosa, and its flavor lives up to its name, as when you eat it, you can taste a mix of banana, pineapple, and mango. It has an elongated shape, similar to that of a zucchini, but with a pointed tip. In addition, the skin looks like hexagon-shaped scales, simulating the skin of a reptile. It is important to note that you should only eat the part of the fruit where the skin has come off, which is approximately 5 centimeters a day. If you eat the green one, it will irritate your tongue and lips as it is highly toxic. As an example of life, a 100-year-old Chilean man continues to play tennis. His name is Tito Zerenes, and on October 12th, he turned 100, a special day in which he continued to do what he loves most, playing tennis. He discovered this sport at the age of 18, and currently continues to play and train whenever he can with his son or friends. With his unique style and a Federer cap 3 years ago, he won first place in the World Senior Tennis Championship in the United States, becoming an example and a legend. She is Kayla Barnes-Lentz, a 33-year-old biohacker who is seeking to live to 150 by following a rigorous lifestyle that includes walking 15,000 steps a day, taking 20 supplements, and sleeping in a cage to block electromagnetic fields. She also uses oxygen therapy and ozone treatments. Her entire day is scheduled, and her routine begins at 5 a.m. with meditation, exercise, and a fortified coffee. Breakfast is a fortified vegetable breakfast. Dinner is at 5:30 p.m. and she always goes to bed before 9 p.m. Kayla claims to have reduced her biological age by 10 years so far. Would you undergo such a treatment? Let me know in the comments. Did you know that they have created a bottle that converts air and humidity into water? This innovative system installed on a bicycle uses thermoelectric cooling to collect and condense humidity, transforming it into water. According to the information, it can produce half a litre in just 30 minutes when the temperature is between 30 and 40 degrees Celsius, and the relative humidity is 80 to 90%. To achieve this, it uses solar energy and the energy used by pedaling the bicycle. In addition, it has a thermoelectric cooling system that converts humidity into drinking water. Would you like to have that bottle? Because I do. Leave me your opinion in the comments. Russian President Vladimir Putin is a great fan of sports such as swimming, hockey, and judo. He has received numerous awards in the latter and was even named honorary president of the International Judo Federation. Unfortunately, this distinction was withdrawn due to the events of the war in Ukraine. Did you know that in the 18th century, the Andean potato saved Europe from famine? At that time, Europe was devastated by a lack of food and land conflicts. However, everything came with the arrival of the potato. It is amazing how this tuber can feed entire families using less land for its cultivation. Researchers from Harvard and Colorado discovered that, in the regions where the potato was grown, conflicts decreased by 26% over 2 centuries. This is because it is a food that is easy to grow in different climates and is also very nutritious. You may not know the name of the song or who sings it, but we all remember the iconic scene from the movie White Chicks, in which Terry Crews, in his role as Latrell, sings Vanessa Carlton's 1,000 Miles in the Car. This moment became a memorable classic to this day. The curious and probably unknown thing is that even though the production was looking for a little-known song, the actor knew it perfectly, to the point of recording the scene in a single take without needing to repeat it. Terry Crews has stated that this song changed his life, and the director thanked Vanessa Carlton for allowing them to use it and together make comedy history. In China, 1,500 workers built a train station in just 9 hours. Yes, 9 hours. It's fascinating how precisely the Nanlong station in Longyan, Fujian province was built to the millimeter. The work began on Friday at 6:30 p.m. and by early Saturday morning at 3:30 a.m. it was already finished. Can you imagine where we would be if the work here was done in that time and with that efficiency? Luigi Cani, the Brazilian with 11 world records for skydiving, has achieved a world-class feat. And we are not talking about a new record, but about how he used his talent to jump with a parachute and drop 100 million seeds in a remote area of the Amazon that is deforested. The seeds were dropped in a biodegradable wooden box more than 1 meter long and weighing 300 kilograms. These seeds have a germination rate of over 95% and do not require human intervention to germinate, so this reforestation is expected to be a success. It is admirable to see people like Luigi. Hopefully, his work will be rewarded for the good of all. A huge, almost intact mosaic was discovered in Turkey while a hotel floor was being renovated. The patterns and scenes depicted on this mosaic indicate that the work dates back to 526 AD, when the region was already under Byzantine rule. The discovery makes it the largest intact mosaic in the world, covering an area of 1050 square meters. This find is not only a work of art, but also a historical document of the greatness, vision, artistry, and culture of those who inhabited the region. The day I dreamed of has just arrived. In Canada, they are creating a Harry Potter-style invisibility cloak. The cloak would be developed by the company Hyperstealth Biotechnology Corp., specialized in military camouflage design. In 2019, they applied for a patent, and the material not only hides something in the visible spectrum, but can also hide you in the infrared, ultraviolet, and thermal signals. The coolest thing for you is that it works in any season of the year, both day and night. This is the Rux Robot, a desktop device designed for productivity, entertainment, and companionship. It runs on both Android and iOS and also integrates voice dialogue, GPT chat, and responds to vocal commands. It can recognize hand gestures and develops its own unique personality based on interactions. The only downside is that it costs $369. Still, would you like to buy one? Let us know what you think in the comments. This is without a doubt the brightest light bulb you will ever see. It is a 20,000 watt bulb. To put this into perspective, a standard incandescent bulb typically consumes around 60 watts, and an efficient LED bulb consumes just 10 watts. As you can see, the incredible power of this bulb allows the outside to be illuminated as if it were daytime even in low sunlight. During the summer festival of the National Opera in Sofia, Bulgaria, held on the shore of a lake, something unique happened. While the dancers were performing Swan Lake, real swans on the lake were watching them. Do you think the swans thought, "That's not how it's done"? This is a t-shirt with a Pokemon design that reveals itself when it comes into contact with fire. It is unique and fireproof and contains a special paper that can burn in a few seconds. If you want to order one or more, I'll leave you the Instagram account in the description to make the purchase. These are realistic crash simulations. First at 10 miles per hour, nothing happens. At 20 miles per hour, the car takes some damage and you might experience a minor bump. At 40 miles per hour, the crash bounces violently and the driver would suffer severe bumps. At 60 miles per hour, the risk increases considerably. An impact at this speed could cause fractures. At 100 miles per hour, an illegal speed in every country in the world except the United Arab Emirates, the chances of surviving an impact are very low. At 150 miles per hour, close to the average speed of Formula One cars, the risk is extremely high. At 200 miles per hour, surviving an impact would be practically a miracle. And finally, at 300 miles per hour, at a speed similar to that of Japanese bullet trains, an impact is always fatal. This is Aika, a dog who is without a doubt the #1 fan of beach tennis in Brazil. Her concentration is sweet and mesmerizing. For the first time in history, the company Osmo AI has managed to teleport smell. As we know, until now it had been possible to teleport 2 of the 5 human senses, image and sound. Now thanks to this fascinating advance, it will also be possible to teleport smell. In laboratory tests, researchers managed to capture and replicate the essence of a coconut, sending it from one point to another without human intervention. This milestone promises to open doors to revolutionary applications for artificial intelligence in fields ranging from health to marketing. Bone lengthening is a surgical procedure used to increase the length of bones. Commonly performed on limbs, this process is performed using a technique called distraction osteogenesis, which involves cutting the bone and gradually separating the segments to stimulate the growth of new bone tissue in the space created. Throughout the treatment, external or internal devices are used to control and expand the separation, allowing the bone to grow continuously and steadily. These are the incredible paintings created by Japanese artist Daisuke Samejima. These are not your ordinary paintings, as he does not use a flat canvas, but rather a spherical surface to capture everything he can imagine. These works are known as flat ball, and each ultra-realistic work by this artist could easily be mistaken for a photograph taken with a 360-degree camera. But if you stop to pay attention to them, you will notice that they are works made with a brush, which show a high level of detail. Meet the Japanese master, Hirotaka Hamasaki, and his chalk art. He is an art teacher and graphic designer at a high school in Japan who greets his students every day with magnificent recreations of different paintings. In all his works, Hirotaka uses the blackboard as a large canvas to paint with chalk great works of art, such as the painting The Last Supper or Pablo Picasso's Guernica, among other pieces of art. These amazing origami figures that you see on the screen are the creations of the renowned NASA physicist, Robert Lang, who, after spending many years working as a scientist at this great institution, decided to leave his position to dedicate time to one of the greatest passions of his life, origami. This renowned physicist mentions that for a large part of his career, he used various origami principles to solve complex engineering problems. Meet the enormous and marvelous bamboo fountains located in Chengdu, China. These monumental fountains are more than just architectural feats. They are enigmatic structures that defy categorization. During the day, they act as silent, monolithic guardians. As the sun sets, however, they transform into pulsating, otherworldly entities. A choreographed ballet of water and light unfolds, a mesmerizing spectacle that blurs the line between nature and technology. This is the moment a chimpanzee sees the sky for the first time in 28 years and reacts with happiness and wonder. The chimpanzee reserve of the organization Save the Chimps in Florida has celebrated Vanilla's new life with a touching video showing her reaction to being outdoors for the first time in her 28 years. The chimpanzee was born in a primate laboratory in New York and had always lived in a cage, where she spent her acclimatization period. E-ink dresses are an innovation in fashion technology that allows the design and patterns of the dress to change in real time. These dresses are made with a flexible e-ink display embedded in the fabric, similar to the technology used in e-readers. Using an app or controls on the dress, the wearer can modify the color, design, or images displayed on the fabric, creating a personalized and dynamic style. Brushboarding is an innovative surf simulator that allows you to experience the sensation of surfing without the need for water. This simulator uses an inclined surface covered with flexible brushes that rotate rapidly under the user's feet, simulating the movement and resistance of a wave. Practitioners can stand on a board and perform maneuvers similar to those of surfing or skateboarding without the risks of water or real waves. Vietnamese engineer Ho Thanh Che designed a boat with a structure inspired by the shape of a flying saucer. This vessel has a circular and aerodynamic design intended to improve stability in the water. Made of light but resistant materials, the boat is capable of sailing at good speed in rivers and seas. Its unusual appearance has attracted attention for its futuristic appearance and its possible recreational and tourist applications, highlighting the innovation and creativity in the engineer's naval design. Borgund Church is one of Norway's most famous stave churches and dates back to the 12th century. Located in Borgund in Lærdal municipality, It is notable for its medieval wooden structure and unique architecture that combines Viking elements with Christian influences. With its distinctive design of multiple stepped roofs and carved details, including dragon heads at the ends of the roof, the church has been preserved as a historical monument and is one of the best preserved of its kind. Moonwalkers are innovative shoes designed to increase walking speed by integrating assisted movement technology. Developed with a motorized wheel system and smart sensors, these shoes can reach speeds of up to 11 kilometers per hour, helping users move quickly and comfortably without extra effort. They are safe and easy to use, as the system automatically adapts to the user's gait, stopping when they do. The water jet cutter is a high-precision industrial tool that uses an extremely high-pressure jet of water, sometimes mixed with abrasives, to cut materials. This equipment is capable of cutting a variety of materials, from metals, stone and glass to rubber or ceramics, without generating heat or affecting the structure of the material, making it ideal for jobs where precision is required without thermal distortions. It is very versatile, with high precision and the ability to make complex cuts. The mirror test is an experiment designed to assess self-awareness in animals, specifically whether they can recognize themselves in a reflection. It involves placing a mark on a part of the animal's body that is only visible in a mirror, then observing the animal's reaction to seeing its reflection. If it attempts to touch or inspect the mark on its own body, the animal is deemed to understand that the image in the mirror is itself and not another animal. This behavior indicates a level of self-awareness. Meet the real-life Snoopy the dog. I'm talking about Bailey, the dog that is making people fall in love on social media due to his peculiar kinship with the cartoon character that so amazed children. Bailey is originally from the United States and belongs to the Sheepadoodle breed. This beautiful canine quickly became famous as he shares photos and videos of his daily activities on social media, which has generated thousands of likes and followers today. Single bamboo drifting is an ancient tradition originating in Guizhou, China, which consists of standing on a floating bamboo trunk on rivers, maintaining balance. It originated as a solution to transporting trunks, but over time it transformed into a cultural and recreational activity. This sport, which requires great body control, evolved into competitions and acrobatic shows, especially popular during the Dragon Boat Festival. This is what the Taihang Mountains in China look like, which are known for housing an innovative solar photocell system on their slopes. This sophisticated system is used to generate clean and sustainable energy. The solar panel installations are arranged in a way that takes advantage of the natural slope of the mountain, maximizing the collection of sunlight during the day. This project combines renewable energy production with a unique visual design, creating impressive patterns from an aerial view. This move you see on screen is known as the Cobra maneuver. Used by jets, it is a technique that allows for drastically braking in mid-air. During this maneuver, the jet raises its nose almost vertically while keeping the body relatively stable, causing a rapid deceleration without losing too much altitude. This technique allows for maneuvering in restricted areas such as aircraft carriers. The golden beetle is a small insect that stands out for its shiny metallic shell that resembles pure gold. This characteristic is due to its ability to reflect light through a transparent layer on its exoskeleton that displays golden or reddish colors depending on the angle of the light and its emotional or defensive state. This color change helps it camouflage itself in its environment, especially on leaves and plants, where it feeds on vegetation, making it one of the most fascinating species in existence. If you are not yet a member of the channel, subscribe! This is the perfect time to do so. Meet Takeshima, a Japanese fitness instructor who, at 92, has become an example of vitality and discipline. Known for her charisma and contagious energy, she began her career in the world of exercise at the age of 65, proving that it is never too late to adopt a healthy lifestyle. In her classes, she teaches exercise routines that promote strengthening and flexibility, inspiring people of all ages to stay active, becoming an inspirational figure in Japan and around the world. Crystal gem corn is a unique and colorful variety of corn, characterized by its translucent, multicolored kernels that resemble precious stones. This variety was developed using traditional breeding techniques by Carl Barnes, a Native American farmer who crossed ancestral corn varieties. Each ear has a unique color combination that can include shades of blue, purple, red, yellow, and green. Although it is edible, it is more often used for decorative purposes because its kernels are hard. Meet KFC's self-driving cars in Shanghai, which allow customers to purchase food without human interaction. These carts offer a unique shopping experience, as these vehicles move independently and allow customers to order and receive their food without the need for human interaction. This innovative approach combines autonomous vehicle technology with the convenience of fast food, reflecting the growing trend towards automation and digitalization in the food sector. The Nemertine worm is a type of marine worm with a long, elongated body. Also known as ribbon worms, they are characterized by their ability to throw out a kind of extension that begins to spread out in a matter of seconds as if it were a root. They use this to capture prey and defend themselves. They are generally predators and feed on small invertebrates that they immobilize with their proboscis, sometimes filled with toxins. Most live in marine environments, but some are found in fresh water. Steam bending is a process by which wood is exposed to hot steam to make it flexible and moldable without breaking. This method consists of placing the wood in a steam chamber where it is heated and moistened, allowing the fibers to soften. Once the desired flexibility is achieved, the wood is placed in a mold or structure that will give it the specific shape. When cooled and dried in this position, the wood retains the imposed curve. Libian International Building is a skyscraper in Guiyang, China, which stands out for its unique design with a 108-meter-high artificial waterfall on one of its facades. This waterfall, one of the tallest on a building, is fed by recycled water stored in underground tanks. It is activated on special occasions due to high energy costs. Its design integrates nature into the urban landscape, making it an architectural icon and a tourist attraction. Upside-down houses in Colombia are unique structures designed to give the illusion that they are upside down. These houses are carefully decorated and built in such a way that the furniture, appliances, and other items are also inverted, causing a fun and disorienting sensation for visitors. Located in places like Guatavita and other tourist destinations, these attractions have become popular for their originality and for offering tourists an interactive experience and unique photo opportunities. The Bana tribe of Ethiopia is a fascinating community that stands out for a unique tradition. Some of its members walk on stilts, a practice they employ especially during festivals and celebrations. This skill allows them to move high above the ground, which brings an element of skill and spectacle to their cultural events. In addition to this tradition, their colorful clothing and ornaments, and their way of life that remains rooted in ancestral practices. Meet the prototype of one of the strangest off-road vehicles you'll see today. Created by Finnish company 18 Wheels, it's basically an electric off-road vehicle with 18 wheels, 18 motors, and 18 springy suspension legs. Each of the vehicle's 18 wheels is not only independently suspended, but also electrically powered, making it a happy little caterpillar as it crawls over virtually any type of terrain the driver wants to move towards. This is Oscar Yakian, a Chicago-based sculptor and ceramist, recognized for his unique style of monster-themed ceramics and his ability to combine traditional techniques with an innovative artistic approach. His journey began in childhood, exploring art through various forms before focusing on ceramics. His pieces include sculptures and utilitarian objects that stand out for their elaborate details and creative expressions. The stroboscopic effect occurs when a moving object appears to be stationary or moving at a speed that is different from its actual speed. It is due to the interaction between its frequency of movement and the frequency of a flashing light, such as a strobe. This phenomenon, common in lighting shows or dynamic studies, is based on visual perception and can be useful for analyzing fast movements or creating striking visual effects. It basically makes people believe that an object is not moving, when in fact it is moving at very high speeds. The Blue Temple, known as Wat Rong Swea, is a Buddhist temple located in Thailand, famous for its vibrant blue color and contemporary design. It combines traditional Thai elements with a modern artistic approach. Its interior is decorated with intricate murals and a towering white Buddha statue, while the exterior features detailed ornaments and mythological figures. The deep blue symbolizes heaven and spiritual wisdom, creating a unique and serene atmosphere that attracts both devotees and tourists. This is the exact moment in the rainforest of Cameroon when a chimpanzee asked French photographer J.C. Pierre for his hands to help him drink water, and in gratitude, the chimpanzee washed them afterwards. These touching images show us once again the intelligence, simplicity, and kindness of the animals on our planet. Without a doubt, this teaches us to take care of our Mother Nature and to safeguard the integrity of defenseless animals who only seek to survive in their natural habitat. Meet Chun San-yuan, the veteran Pokemon Go player who has gone from having 45 to 64 mobile phones installed on his bike to play. Each device has a different account, and they are placed on a kind of support that sits just above the handlebars of the bike, in a position that allows you to control all the devices with just a glance, and without obstructing the view of this well-known old man and one of the most interesting trainers of the mobile game. The Impossible Cone is a toy or optical illusion designed to challenge visual perception. It is composed of a structure that, when viewed from certain angles, looks like a perfect cone, but when rotated or changed in perspective, reveals that it has unexpected and asymmetrical shapes. This toy uses principles of geometry and perspective to create a surprising and educational experience, ideal for stimulating curiosity and critical thinking, as well as being a popular tool in playful learning and creative design contexts. Emily the engineer built SpongeBob's real-life alarm clock. It's almost as powerful as the one in the cartoon. Samsonite sent a suitcase into space as a publicity stunt to demonstrate its strength and durability. The suitcase reached the stratosphere, reaching an altitude of 39 kilometers, where it endured extreme temperatures of up to minus 65 degrees Celsius. A self-deploying parachute system was used during the descent. Painting is not easy, and even less so if you do it through a puppet. The artist is Victor Ariosa. The new technology from the famous car company Volkswagen consists of an artificial intelligence that detects when a driver has fallen asleep or is unconscious, and at that moment activates emergency mode, in which the driver gradually moves into low-speed lanes until coming to a complete stop. Check out this curious cake shaped like a sky covered in clouds. The clouds are made of sugar and the blue sky is made of gelatin colored with mint flour concentrate. Would you like to try it? This man wanted to do a little demonstration of what happens if you get squid ink on your skin. After 5 days and having cleaned it repeatedly with soap and water, the ink still hasn't disappeared. This new prototype vehicle has a very curious safety system. It is like a giant hamster wheel that, in the event of an impact, redirects the force to the sides, making it rotate and absorb the impact. A $500,000 car being used as a canvas for a children's birthday party only happens in Dubai. This impressive phenomenon is known as a sky tsunami, also known as a heavenly explosion of heavy rain, or aerial wall of water, and is formed when a thunderstorm or heavy rain creates a downward current of great force. When planaria is amputated and cut into pieces, each fragment has the amazing ability to regenerate into a fully formed individual. It's like having regenerative powers like superheroes. This makes planaria a fascinating example of regeneration in the animal kingdom. A team of scientists from the University of Tokyo has discovered living microorganisms in a crevice in a 2 billion-year-old rock found 15 meters below ground level in the Bushveld complex in South Africa. Using infrared spectroscopy and electron and fluorescence microscopy, the researchers confirmed that the microbes came from the core of the rock and were not the product of contamination during excavation. This finding reinforces the possibility that microbial life can survive in extreme conditions deep beneath the Earth's surface. NASA astronauts will wear spacesuits designed in collaboration with Prada for the Artemis 3 mission, scheduled for 2026 and marking humanity's return to the Moon. The suit, called the Extravehicular Mobility Unit Axiom, is black with red and grey details and was unveiled in Milan after more than 2 years in development. In addition to allowing survival in space, it has a cooling and health monitoring system, improving movement and safety. Its design seeks to adapt to a wider variety of astronauts with pressurized and completed tests. What do you think of this new design? Let me know in the comments. No, it's not glass. Believe it or not, this glass is made of stone. It's rock crystal from China, an extremely valuable rock that costs a fortune. This rock is cut into blocks with a saw, which are then segmented into smaller pieces and then sculpted and polished, resulting in these impressive vessels that shine more brilliantly than glass. In the 2006 movie Apocalypto, we saw a scene where they sutured a wound using ants. Although it looked like just a movie scene, it is a real practice. Some indigenous Mesoamerican tribes place ants on the wound, making their mandibles bite the edges, then separate the head from the body, creating a stitch. They repeat the process until the wound is completely closed. It is unfortunate that the ants die in the process, but it is effective. Archaeologists in Ecuador have identified a lost city in the Amazon rainforest that is approximately 2,500 years old. Specialists estimate that the city may have had between 10,000 and 30,000 inhabitants. All of this was discovered through mapping using laser pulses capable of penetrating vegetation, creating 3D models of the hidden terrain. According to the research, the team identified 5 large settlements and 10 smaller ones in the Upano Valley. It is fascinating that in the mapping, roads, terraces, agricultural fields, and neighborhoods can be seen, proving that they had an urban plan. Cricket is the second most popular sport in the world after football. It is estimated to have 2.5 billion followers, mainly in England, Australia, Pakistan, and India. But how is it played? It is played professionally with 2 teams of 11 players on a rectangular field of about 20 meters. Each team has 3 sticks called wickets, which are placed on the ground at each end of the field. The teams take turns to bowl and bat in innings, in a dynamic very similar to baseball. The objective is to hit the ball to change batting position with a teammate and thus score the most runs. Curious, right? Would you like to play sometime? Leave me your opinion in the comments. Did you know that Colombia and Panama are the only 2 neighboring countries in the world without a road connection? This is due to the Darien region, a tropical jungle full of swamps and rugged mountains with no official road running through it. The so-called Darien Gap interrupts the largest highway in the world, the Pan-American Highway. Its 97-kilometer stretch is considered one of the most dangerous in the world. However, this has not been an obstacle for the thousands of people who risk their lives every year trying to cross it to reach the United States. In 2023 alone, it is estimated that some 523,000 people attempted to cross it. The ideal site to look for information and ratings on the best series, movies, or anime to watch is undoubtedly IMDb, the most popular and recognized source of content on film, television, and celebrities in the world. It has a catalog of 5 million titles of films and television series of all nationalities, and the biographies of more than 5 million filmmakers. The site is constantly updated as new films and series are released, or with new contributions from its huge community of more than 83 million registered users. We've all seen her before, and no, she's not an actress or a model. Her name is Jenny Joseph, and she's the face of the Columbia Pictures logo. The logo changed in 1992 when Columbia executives hired painter Michael This to do it. He wanted to use the old logo of the woman with the torch, but he wasn't convinced, so he turned to his friend, Pulitzer Prize-winning photographer Kathy Anderson, who found the right person in a 28-year-old classic designer named Jenny Joseph. The funny thing is, Jenny was on her lunch break when Kathy saw her and knew she was the one. Jenny posed wrapped in sheets, holding a small lamp in what was her first and only modeling job, not knowing that she would become the iconic face we all know. Can you imagine having saved up for a long time to go on a yacht ride, enjoying the sun, the sea, and the tranquility, when suddenly a shark jumps out of the water directly towards your yacht? It would be an experience as unexpected as it is terrifying, capable of ruining the most relaxing day. Luckily, I don't have the money to afford a yacht, so I am spared from these kinds of unexpected misadventures that seem straight out of an action movie. Sometimes being away from certain luxuries can avoid these unexpected scares. The MK-50 helmet, known as the Iron Man helmet, works with voice commands and a remote control, which has a list of commands you can give it. The funny thing is that it's not called Jarvis, but Friday, and you can find it from $500 to $800, depending on the functions. I certainly already know what I want for this Christmas. And you? Do you want a helmet like that? Leave me your opinion in the comments. The Grossman School of Medicine at New York University studied how some memories are forgotten while others persist. concluding that the brain goes through several steps to label certain memories and store them during sleep. Certain neurons transmit electrical signals responsible for encoding memories, while the hippocampus fires synchronized rhythmic cycles. This process has been called brain screams. During sleep, if an event was followed by only a few brain screams, that memory is forgotten, while those that are accompanied by between 5 and 20 waves become permanent memories. He is Leng Jun, and his paintings are considered the most realistic in the world. The way he projects emotions and thoughts is amazing. His works look like photographs, and although Leng is the leader of the Huang Painting Academy in China, he takes the time to do street demonstrations of his art. He is known as the master of shading, since in his works you can perfectly observe darkness and light, which give rise to a hyper-realistic image. China has launched an unmanned hypersonic drone that threatens to surpass the US F-22 Raptor, which is the most powerful and advanced stealth fighter in the world. It is so impressive that the US won't sell it even to its own allies. Now, the Chinese supersonic drone threatens to surpass it, as it has a range of 8,000 kilometers, can withstand up to 6 times the force of gravity when turning at high speeds, and can attack moving targets at sea, such as aircraft carriers at hypervelocity. What you see here is a bot farm for social networks. This is where fake followers come from in India, Pakistan, and Saudi Arabia, among others. In Asia, there is a concept that the more famous you are, the more important you are. Each of your connected cell phones has its own SIM card, that is, its own internet and its own IP. Each phone is adapted to be controlled by a PC, where a comment or reaction is made, and this action is replicated on the thousands of connected phones. Yes, I know, it sounds strange, but Tolosa City is a reality. The billionaire Mark Lore presented his ambitious project that consists of creating a city from scratch in the Nevada desert in the United States of America. The curious thing about this new city is that it has an estimate of 5 million inhabitants. The futuristic, ecological, and inclusive city expects the first residents to arrive by 2030, and its name comes from the Greek telos, meaning purpose. The city would be governed under the Georgist principles of Henry George, where anyone could own, sell, or build their property. According to these principles, land is worthless unless people move near it. According to a study conducted by an American laboratory, dumbbells and other gym equipment contain 362 times more bacteria than a toilet. Many people do not clean the equipment before or after using it, leading to the spread of germs and contamination of everything they touch. In addition, the study revealed that exercise bikes harbor 39 times more bacteria than a bar tray. What you're watching isn't an animation, but Roboson Robotics Inc. has launched a Buzz Lightyear robot with realistic expressions and is programmable. It took 3 years to develop, and it has 23 motors, 75 microchips, and around 3,000 parts, making it capable of performing an endless number of movements. The robot includes audio in English and Spanish, replicating scenes from the third Toy Story movie. Let's not forget that. This company is also responsible for launching Optimus Prime and Megatron robots, capable of being controlled by voice. If you want to buy one, you'll have to break the bank, since it costs $600. To prevent Hurricane Milton from taking his house, Puerto Rican Pedro Cáceres, a resident of Florida, used hooks fixed in holes 8 feet deep, becoming a viral phenomenon on social media for his peculiar way of protecting his home. According to Pedro, the hooks were very well reinforced, with the capacity to withstand thousands of pounds of pressure. Although it may seem like a crazy technique, he had already used it before during Hurricane Charlie in 2004 when it passed through Puerto Rico. Corks never stops innovating, and this time it has created a special collection for dogs. The sandals come in two presentations: green slime and pink dragon fruit. And there are also sandals for people to match your pet. And if that weren't enough, corks for dogs glow in the dark. If you want to buy cork to match your dog, you can now buy them only in their online store, from $50 to $65. Ferrari has launched its new supersports car after 11 years, the F80, a limited edition model that has already been fully reserved with an exclusive price tag of $3.9 million. Only 799 units will be built, which has generated a huge demand among the most demanding Ferrari collectors. The first deliveries are scheduled for the last quarter of next year, consolidating the F80 as one of the most exclusive and powerful jewels in Ferrari's prestigious automotive history. Have you ever wondered why Snoopy slept on top of his cabin? Many people don't know, but this popular character suffered from claustrophobia, that is, he was afraid of closed spaces. Also, as a curious fact, in the late 1960s, Snoopy was NASA's official safety mascot. Since then, NASA has awarded the Silver Snoopy Award every year to those who have achieved improvements in safety and success in missions. In fact, in 2025, he will fly aboard the Orion rocket, which will take astronauts on a deep space exploration. Can you guess which peak this is? It is known all over the world and is the famous mountain that appears at the beginning of all Paramount movies. If you want to visit this mountain, you will have to pack your bags to travel to Peru, specifically to Huaraz, to see the snow-capped peak of Artason Raju. This mountain, with a height of 6,025 meters above sea level, is one of the approximately 50 peaks of the Cordillera Blanca in the Andes of Peru. An artificial intelligence has created a video showing how the Egyptian pyramids were built. Although the final result is probably not what you expected, it has generated a new theory about the origin of the oldest monuments in the world. This time, the artificial intelligence has put forward its own hypothesis, showing that numerous Egyptian slaves and giants lifted and pulled huge stone blocks. Elephants and boats on the Nile River were also a key part of transporting these blocks. Truly chilling. Amazingly, a dog has been caught on camera at the top of one of the pyramids at Giza. This incident was recorded by Marshall Mosher, who was flying around the pyramids when he noticed a dog in one of them. According to Marshall's account, the dog was barking at some birds at the time he was spotted, and there has even been speculation that the dog is the reincarnation of the god Anubis. Fortunately, after a few hours, the dog managed to descend from the pyramids safely. This is Samuel Henrique, also known as Boy Samuka, an incredible example of overcoming and perseverance, as well as an extraordinary breakdancer. He has become very popular on social media thanks to his incredible breakdancing skills that he performs with just one leg. This is a demonstration of silica aerogel, a material that conducts heat so poorly that you can hold it in your hands even after being in an oven at 2,200 degrees Celsius. This is Denis Kravchenko, another perfect example of where there's a will, there's a way. Look how he does all these activities using only his feet. Personally, I was shocked. After seeing this, I won't make any more excuses. Have you heard of Signaloud? A pair of gloves that allow you to translate from sign language to spoken language in real time. The gloves have sensors that are connected to a micro Arduino board, which records hand movements. This information is sent via Bluetooth to a computer where a program translates it into words.
Hello. My name is Thomas. And this is Navid.
If you are not yet a member of the channel, subscribe! This is the perfect time to do so. This is only for the very brave. It's the SCAD Freefall at the iconic Orlando Towers in Soweto, South Africa. It involves hanging 45 meters above a net, where you must let go of the ropes and free fall into the net 15 floors below. Check out the curious village built between rocks. Setenil de las Bodega is one of the most famous villages in the province of Cadiz, Spain. It is a unique place, mainly because it was built on a series of caves in the cliffs above the Trejo River, which is why many of the buildings in the village have been built around rocks, integrating them into the buildings. What you see here is known as El Salto del Pastor, or also called Brinco Canario. This unique technique involves a quick and agile movement in which the shepherd uses a long stick known as a vara to propel himself across rocky terrain or narrow spaces. Instant coolness, Tora's Coolify Zone, a portable waist fan with a battery usage time of up to 15 hours. This fan is perfect for hot days, work, or outdoor activities. It features 3 adjustable wind speeds to keep you cool and comfortable in high temperatures. It is equipped with a 4,000 milliamp battery and a low energy consumption motor for long-lasting use. This fan is the perfect companion wherever you go. Check out this incredible 3,700 square meter, $20 million mansion atop Kingfisher Tower in Bangalore, India. This luxurious penthouse with 360-degree views, an infinity pool, and all kinds of luxuries is one of the most expensive in India. In this fascinating video, we can see the remarkable discipline and organization in China's metro stations, an impressive example of order in public transport. These panda puppies are the cutest thing you'll see today. The Japanese giant crab is a crustacean characterized by its triangular shell and long legs. It lives in the depths of the Pacific Ocean and the coasts of Japan. It is a blind animal, but it has very well-developed hearing, and it also has hairs that are sensitive to underwater sound waves, which allows it to feed properly, as well as to keep track of its predators. They can measure more than 2 meters in length and weigh up to 20 kilograms. He is Akimbo, the #1 Russian arm wrestler. He trains using a car suspension spring, accompanied by various elements such as elastics to increase the pressure of the force, which can weigh up to 80 kilograms. The sum of these constant trainings allows him to possess arms so large, almost the size of an adult's thigh. This allows him to defeat almost any brave opponent who is sure of beating him. Wilson's bird of paradise is a bird endemic to the Raja Ampat Islands in Indonesia. Males have striking colors and a twisted mustache-shaped tail. Its size is around 16 centimeters and its weight is around 70 grams. Meet the autonomous laser weeder, the agricultural robot capable of using lasers to eliminate weeds that could affect the crop. The robot has 12 high-resolution cameras, an artificial intelligence system with NVIDIA technology, 150-watt CO2 lasers with a precision of 3 millimeters, ready to fire every 50 milliseconds. LiDAR sensors that allow it to detect possible obstacles, and 8 modules that can eliminate 100,000 weeds every hour. Ball lightning is a rare and still not fully understood atmospheric phenomenon. It consists of the appearance of a luminous sphere, generally of variable size, which moves erratically and lasts longer than ordinary lightning. Unlike conventional lightning, which is brief and linear, it appears to float or move slowly through the air, and in some cases can even penetrate buildings. This is what some highways in China look like. Basically, the colored lights you can see in the pictures are laser beams placed from end to end of the road. Used as a unique method of combating nighttime driver fatigue, these bright colors are meant to keep drivers awake. Despite this idea, it is recommended that the best practice for anyone who feels tired is to not get behind the wheel. Sweet Fish Cafe is a restaurant in Thailand where diners can eat surrounded by koi fish swimming on the floor. To enjoy this experience, visitors must take off their shoes, disinfect their feet, and not touch or disturb the fish. To keep the ecosystem in good condition, the pool has filters that work 24 hours a day, and the staff changes the water every morning and night to ensure a long life for the fish. Meet Chuan Bin Chung, a teacher from Taiwan who teaches at Shute University, who has recently become a trending topic on social media for a very particular fact: his impressive ability to draw complex parts of the human anatomy with chalk on a blackboard. The images show the teacher using chalk of various colors as well as a ruler, accessories that help him draw with extreme precision. Chladni figures are two-dimensional patterns that represent sound waves on a plate according to the vibrations of a tone. This is an experiment carried out by Ernst Chladni in 1808, which consisted of observing the movement of a handful of sand that he had placed on a plate and making it vibrate with sounds at different frequencies. He discovered that the vibrations of each sound caused the sand to clump together in different places, creating two-dimensional patterns called nodes. This is the original system used by buildings in Korea to evacuate people in the event of a fire. It basically uses individual elevators installed on balconies, but the most amazing thing is that they don't need electricity. They work with the weight of the people themselves. These elevators are installed on the exterior facades of buildings, although they can also go through balconies as seen in the images. He is Julian Rios Cantu, the Mexican boy who, at just 16 years old, invented a bra called Eva, which is capable of detecting and preventing breast cancer. This invention has 200 biosensors that map the surface of the breasts and their surrounding areas, scanning and collecting data on the texture, color, and temperature of this part of the body. When the sensors manage to capture an area with high thermal conductivity, it is possible that something is feeding on several blood vessels in this area, which could mean cancer. The Ruyi Bridge, located in Zhejiang, China, is one of the Asian giant's latest tourist attractions. Built between two mountain peaks, it defies the laws of physics and undulates in a real way as visitors walk among the clouds. Its construction began in 2017, and public access was enabled in September 2020. Seen from the side, the structure resembles an eye composed of a central concave arch, in the center of which the highest point is reached, surrounded by two walkways. Did you know that whales explode when they die? This happens because of the accumulation of gases inside them, such as methane and hydrogen sulfide, which make their bodies swell until it becomes a balloon that can burst when you try to move or touch it. A brachistochrone curve, or cycloid curve, is the curve between 2 points that is traveled in the shortest time by a body that starts at the initial point with speed 0, and that must move along the curve until reaching the second point under the action of a constant force of gravity. Basically, the brachistochrone curve is the path that a body travels in the shortest possible time, between 2 points of different heights. These are the giant umbrellas in Saudi Arabia, which are designed to reduce high temperatures that reach up to 46 degrees Celsius. Each one is 20 meters high, takes only 3 minutes to open, and together they cover an area of 143,000 square meters with shade, resulting in a drop in temperature of up to 8 degrees Celsius. Not only does their functionality stand out, but also their elegant aesthetics, since when closed, they look like pillars of their architecture. This is what a reindeer cyclone looks like, which is used as a defensive strategy. Females and calves stay in the center, while a fortress of males protects the herd by spinning like a cyclone. Basically, the threatened herd runs in circles at high speed, making it impossible to target a single target. In this way, animals that can be preyed upon by wolves create a kind of fence to protect the most vulnerable members of their herd from predators. Meet the basket star, a marine animal closely related to starfish. It is found in shallow parts of the tropical Western Atlantic, the Caribbean Sea, and the Gulf of Mexico. During the day, it curls up into a tight ball to protect itself from predators, and at night it climbs to a high point to feed by extending its arms to catch plankton and other organisms passing by in the current. Did you know about chainsaw anti-cut trousers? They are a very high security garment that is characterized by being made of highly special and resistant materials that stop the chainsaw chain in case of contact. They have different classifications depending on the degree of protection against cutting speed and size of the chainsaw. They are breathable and ventilated to avoid heat and sweat. Meet Midas, the four-eared kitten who is making waves around the world. This Russian blue was adopted in Turkey, and her 4 ears are the result of a genetic mutation that simply affects her appearance. Her owner took her to the vet to find out if the cat had hearing problems due to this deformity, but the vets told her that it did not affect her auditory system as she could hear perfectly. A motorbike that flies? This is the Lazarus LMV 496, a motorbike designed for high flights. It was created by Ludovic Lazarus and is capable of traveling on the road and in the air. This motorbike has 4 wheels, 2 in front and 2 in the back, and is powered by a powerful Lamborghini V8 engine for traveling on the road. If you want to switch to air mode, all you have to do is press a button and the wheels will rise horizontally, taking on the appearance of a drone. This is Selwa Hussein, the woman who carries her heart in a backpack, making her the first woman in the UK to live with the condition. Her backpack weighs around 6 kilograms, which contains her artificial heart. It has batteries, an electric motor, and a pump that pushes air through tubes to feed plastic chambers in her chest that push blood around her body. She basically has to carry her new heart with her wherever she goes. This is the closest sound to that of the dinosaurs. The cassowary is responsible for making this sound, which is a large, robust bird native to New Guinea. Known for its prehistoric appearance, it has rough black plumage and a prominent bony casque that it uses to move through dense vegetation and possibly for defense. Its neck and face are vibrant colors, such as blue and red, and it has long claws on its strong legs, which can be dangerous if the bird feels threatened. The rain chain is a decorative and functional system used to guide water from the roof to the ground in a controlled and aesthetic manner. Originating in Japan, this structure is made up of a series of links or small containers, such as bowls or bells, connected to each other and hung from the edges of the roof. When it rains, the water flows through the chain, creating a soothing visual and sound effect as the water gently descends. The hanging city of Jiangxi Wangxian, China. This is a fascinating historical construction located on cliffs, known for its impressive suspended architecture and its integration into the mountain landscape. This city was designed to take advantage of the rugged topography and protect its inhabitants with constructions made on platforms that protrude from the rock. The temples and wooden structures are connected by narrow walkways and stairs, offering a stunning view of the natural surroundings. Epic Spaceman shows us how many galaxies there are in the universe with cereal. Each galaxy is represented by a piece of cereal. How full do you think the pool will be? Halfway? All the way? To put it into perspective, in each of these galaxies there are billions of planets and stars. Ready to have your mind blown? You could fill not just one, but 355 pools. Inside each one are trillions of galaxies. The universe is gigantic. Would you go to a museum to lick this? These are sculptures by Australian artist Joseph Marr, and believe it or not, they are made of sugar. Many people can't resist the curiosity of trying them. The worst thing is that it is allowed. The Paradiso Art Hotel in Ibiza offers a room completely free of charge for anyone who needs it, with a small detail. It has transparent glass walls. Could you sleep there? This guy accidentally broke a world record. He played rock, paper, scissors the longest distance. Despite being separated by hundreds of miles, he did it perfectly. This is the narrowest Jeep in the world. It was designed for 2 people, and this is the widest Jeep in the world. This is McDonald's new advertising. A billboard with a scent. It releases the aroma of its fries into the air. Very clever. This is Mara, and she can tell the difference between 2 very complex images in just a few seconds. She acquired this ability after receiving therapy to focus on nearby objects. Among the most dangerous jobs in the world are those of power transmission linemen. They are in charge of maintaining power towers. These workers can operate at heights of over 100 meters and must pass psychological tests and intensive training for the job, since a mistake can be fatal. In developed countries, these workers can earn salaries of between $70,000 and $100,000 a year. Would you accept a risky job for a better salary? Let me know in the comments. If I tell you that there is a supermarket where you can pay for everything you buy with gold, you will surely say, when not those in Dubai with their stuff, right? But let me tell you that you are wrong. This happens in the Orinoco mining arc in Venezuela, where the largest gold deposit in the world is located. In these towns, thousands of inhabitants work in the mines, and purchases are paid for with grams of gold. From groceries from the market and gasoline for the car to beer, in the supermarket, they have a scale that weighs the gold you bring, with 1 gram being equivalent to $68. We all have our cables tangled and messy. We're not going to lie, we know that. But this seems to change thanks to magnetic cables. These are the MagTame magnetic cables, made of magnetized metal threads and filaments. This magnet is so strong that it holds the cable together, preventing it from breaking. Plus, it's so cool, you can shape it however you want, or even wrap several cables together, getting a better order. There are three types of boundaries between tectonic plates: divergent, convergent, and frictional. In the case of divergent boundaries, the plates move apart in opposite directions, such as in Africa, where part of the continental area can split. In convergent boundaries, the plates collide in the same direction, and one remains below the other. This is the most common, and causes most earthquakes and volcanoes. Finally, we have frictional boundaries, where we find faults. In this case, the plates move laterally in opposite directions, as in the case of the San Andreas Fault. Using digital cameras, we were able to capture some phenomena of unknown origin, from UFOs passing through a portal, moving lights in the sky, rays of the sun in sudden movement, specters in the sky, UFO triangles or spiral skies. Do you think these are real or fake phenomena? What is the strangest thing you have seen in the sky? Leave me your opinion in the comments. The one you see on screen is registered in the Guinness Book of Records as the world's longest laboratory experiment, the pitch drop. It was started in 1927 by a professor to make one of the most viscous liquids in the world fall through a funnel. To date, only 9 drops have fallen, one every 7 to 13 years, and it is believed that it will take at least another 100 years. Meet one of the most beautiful banknotes in the world. The 1,000 rupee banknote from the Maldivian has been considered one of the most beautiful in the world. Issued for the first time in 2016, this banknote features a captivating design that pays tribute to 2 iconic species of the island nation's marine biodiversity: whale sharks and green turtles. Printed on polymer and measuring 150 x 70 millimeters, this banknote has a value of approximately $65, under the motto, "The beauty of what surrounds us." This Japanese artist, who calls himself Lito Leaf Art, works with the leaves that fall from the trees and makes each one a small work of art. Autumn is his favorite season of the year, and the ground is covered with a blanket of leaves that he can use to give free rein to his imagination and create specific scenes with some of them. These small and ephemeral creations require talent as well as a good dose of patience. We love his small and fragile universe. And you, do you have any special talent? Let me know in the comments. Maybe you will be the star of the next video. This is the urutau you see on screen, also known as the ghost bird, a mysterious bird of the night. With its unique plumage, it hides in plain sight during the day, looking like just another branch on the tree. But when night falls, its song echoes in the silence. This bird is a master of camouflage and a rare sight to see. The world's first meme museum, created by the popular company 9gag, has opened in Hong Kong. It is an expression that pays homage to the meme culture that is already indispensable and vital in our society. This museum has 100 physical memes and has augmented reality areas, as well as themed zones dedicated to internet classics. Visitors can create their own memes and even get temporary tattoos. We all know that to build a house, we must build from the foundations up, however. That rule seems to be broken with build and lift, which has transformed the construction of houses by building the roofs first instead of the foundations. To do this, they use hydraulic jacks that raise the roof so that the walls can be inserted, as if it were a house made with Legos. And although it may seem strange to us, this procedure speeds up the work, allowing the roof and walls to be built quickly. A penguin wearing orthopedic shoes. This is Lupus, a penguin who suffered from leg injuries due to a chronic condition known as pododermatitis, which encompasses a wide range of foot problems in birds. So to help him with his degenerative condition, specialists at Paranormal made him a custom-made shoe made of neoprene to prevent him from suffering pressure pains every time Lupus stands up and walks. These incredible human sculptures disappear when viewed from certain angles. Sculptor Julian Voss Andrii seeks to make viewers of his work question the paradigms we often take for granted. Specifically, the renowned artist wants to upend the conventions of Newtonian physics, which view the world as a collection of discrete objects dependent on other forces. With a graduate degree in quantum physics, Voss Andrii uses sculpture to demonstrate the fundamental integration of the universe. From certain angles, his figurative sculptures disappear into the environment around them, proving that humans cannot separate themselves from nature. He is Murat Kolak, and he is an animal chiropractor who has gone viral on social media due to the particular reactions that pets have after receiving therapy. Murat is originally from Germany and defines himself as a pet chiropractor, osteopath, and healer at the service of animals. As we can see on screen, the best thing is the reaction that his patients have. This is how gharials, also known as Ganges crocodiles, camouflage themselves as logs to catch their prey. Fistball, also known as Faustball, originated in Germany in the late 19th century as a variation of volleyball. It gained popularity in Central Europe and developed into a formalized sport with its own rules and governing bodies. Fistball is played on a rectangular court with a net in the middle, and players hit a ball with their hands. It is similar to volleyball, but players use a larger, softer ball. The goal is to hit the ball in such a way that the opposing team cannot return it. If we're talking about sports, this is probably one of the strangest in the world. Car jitsu, wrestling inside a car in Russia. The procedure is simple. It's just about getting the upper hand on your opponent without getting out of the car, which is very difficult due to the small space and lack of oxygen. The sport is inspired by the popular Brazilian art of jiu-jitsu, but here there is a creative use of the environment, meaning any object inside the vehicle can be used to defeat the opponent. X-ray glass, a revolutionary pair of glasses that subtitle conversations in real time. The glasses are connected to a mobile phone that processes and generates subtitles from an audio signal captured by the glasses microphone. The subtitles are then projected into the real world through the glasses using real software. This is what these scenes from the movie Avatar look like before adding the computer effects. If you ever need to remove tape from a piece of paper, don't do it this way. If you pull the tape from both ends, you reduce the adhesive properties of the glue, allowing you to remove it without damaging the paper. This visual installation is located in an underground passage in the city of Florence, Italy. It looks like you're inside an aquarium, but it is actually screens. Meet the monowheel, which was a large vehicle that is no longer popular today, but which marked the history of technological innovation. This curious invention places the pilot inside the wheel, along with handlebars, a seat, and an engine. These gigantic wheels emerged as a curiosity from times past, although they were useful at one time and were very popular, but over time, they fell out of use with the arrival of the automobile. Did you know that Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse got married in real life? Well, they didn't exactly get married in the cartoons. I'm referring to the voice actors who brought these Disney animated stars to life with their voices, Wayne Allwine and Russi Taylor. Despite their relationship, the couple kept their personal romance private as they didn't want their marriage to influence the way Disney fans viewed Mickey and Minnie, who never got married in the cartoons. If you are not yet a member of the channel, subscribe! This is the perfect time to do so. Meet one of the rarest animals in the world, the saiga antelope. This peculiar mammal lives in the steppes of Central Asia. Unfortunately, this animal is one step away from extinction, as in 2003 there was only 6% of its population left compared to a decade earlier. Its protruding and flexible nose allows it to filter, humidify, and warm the air it breathes, which helps it regulate its temperature. Doesn't it look like something straight out of Star Wars? Let me know your opinion in the comments. This is the exact point where the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean meet. The curious thing is that neither of them mix due to their components, since the water of the Atlantic Ocean is denser than that of the Pacific, so it sinks a little more. The water of the Pacific is saltier and colder than that of the Atlantic, and the water of the Atlantic has more sediment from the rivers that flow into it, causing its color and consistency to be different. This is Maurice Tillet, the wrestler who inspired the creation of the Green Ogre Shrek. He was a wrestling champion and dreamed of being an actor. He suffered from acromegaly and died at the age of 50 as a result of this disease that triggered an abnormal development of the growth hormone, which caused an enlargement of the limbs and bones of the face. Because of this, he decided to abandon his dreams of acting. So in 1937, he decided to enter the world of wrestling, having great success and becoming famous. In some shopping malls in China, there are spaces for men who prefer not to accompany their wives on shopping trips. They are called husband pods or husband nursery and must be reserved at least a day in advance to use them. The pods include a variety of activities and services designed to suit male preferences such as smoking, internet access, drinks, snacks, television, and even massages. British band Coldplay have announced their retirement from music. That's right, it was Chris Martin who confirmed that the group will stop producing music after the release of their 12th album. The artist explained that they planned it because that's what their heroes have done. There are only 7 Harry Potter books, there are only 12 Beatles albums, and more or less the same number of Bob Marley albums. Fortunately, there is still time before retirement, as the band has just released their 10th album, Moon Music. This is the most beautiful and most expensive horse in the world. Belonging to the Akal Teke breed, with over 3,000 years of history and only about 8,000 horses worldwide, this particular one, named Abrek, was sold for approximately $2 million. It is famous not only for its platinum appearance and elegance, but also for its exceptional abilities and pure bloodline. Originally from Turkmenistan, Akal Teke horses are known for their beauty, endurance, and unique shiny coat that gives them an almost metallic appearance. These horses have a history that dates back over 3,000 years, making them one of the oldest and purest breeds in the world. Akal Teke excel in various equestrian disciplines, including racing, jumping, and dressage, thanks to their agility and endurance. The founder of Spotify has created Neko Health, a preventive medicine company powered by artificial intelligence. Here, a 1-hour consultation costs $300, but the most surprising thing is that the exams are non-invasive and collect millions of data points about your health. Its futuristic booths have more than 70 sensors that collect 2,000 images in 20 seconds with the aim of detecting and preventing deadly diseases. At the moment, they have opened branches in London and Stockholm, showing how technology and artificial intelligence are revolutionizing healthcare. He is Jake Laser, an engineer who created the real-life Venom suit. He used over 100,000 spheres to compose it, and when it comes into contact with a ferrous fluid, the entire suit turns black, imitating the mythical character from the comics. The only drawback was that he could only do it once and ended up with his body painted for over a month. In early 2024, a chimpanzee named Natalia, belonging to a critically endangered subspecies, gave birth to 2 babies in the Biopark Park in Valencia, Spain. Sadly, 2 weeks later, one of the babies died suddenly, and the news spread around the world because the mother, for several weeks and even months afterwards, still had not let go of the lifeless body of her baby. Finally, after 7 months of mourning, the chimpanzee let go of the lifeless remains of her baby. This is how durian is harvested. These young men are true professionals at their job, as catching these fruits without damaging them using only a cloth bag is part of their daily routine. But why do they do it this way? It is because durian trees are usually very tall and simply letting them fall is easier. Saudi sheikhs have surprised the world with a monumental challenge, Falcon's Flight, a roller coaster destined to be the fastest, longest, and highest in history. It will open in 2025 together with the Six Flags Qiddiya amusement park. At over 4 kilometers long, 195 meters high, and with a speed of 250 kilometers per hour, Falcon's Flight will challenge all limits. Would you ride it? Let me know in the comments. In South Korea, there is a 600-kilometer cycle path that runs through the entire country, allowing cyclists from all over the world to travel comfortably and safely. Along the route, cyclists can visit important cities such as Seoul, Busan, and Daegu, as well as the country's 4 main rivers. The entire route is equipped with services for cyclists, such as public toilets, cafes, hotels, service points, and much more. A great reason to visit this fantastic country. Huawei has unveiled the Mate X-T Ultimate Design, the world's first triple folding display phone. It was launched shortly after Apple's last iPhone and is priced at $2,800. The Mate X-T is looking to stand out in China's competitive premium market. Huawei has spared no detail, as the device offers a vegan leather back available in black or red, with elegant gold accents, and of course it can transform from a 6.3-inch pocketable phone into a 10.2-inch tablet. British athlete Ross Edgley has completed the world's longest non-stop swim. He covered a distance of 510 kilometers in 56 hours, swimming in waters of 8 degrees Celsius without sleeping or touching land. This feat was achieved in the Yukon River, the largest in Canada, and was part of research to study the endurance of the human body. A team of scientists from Stanford University have managed to make the skin and tissues of live mice transparent by applying an ointment or base of tartrazine, a common food coloring. This ointment has allowed the observation of blood vessels, the functioning of organs and muscles of the mice in person, without the need to make an incision. In addition, transparency can be easily reversed by simply washing, without causing harm to the animal. Did you know that egg yolks can be different colors depending on what the chickens eat? If the chicken eats a lot of corn, they will be orange. If they eat wheat, they will be yellow. Some chickens can even lay eggs with green yolks if they eat a lot of medicinal herbs. Would you eat a dish sponge? This is the Rita Coco restaurant, where they serve this dessert made of passion fruit mousse, lime biscuit, and the soap is made of basil and mint. This unique deck of clear playing cards is printed with images of human anatomy. When stacked in the correct order, they form a complete body. Did you know that there is a Guinness World Record for cutting the longest strip of paper? This record is held by Pei Haozheng, who managed to cut a strip of 108.15 meters. This is the smallest Bible in the world, measuring just 4.7 millimeters. It was made using nano-engineering. Epidermodysplasia verruciformis is a genetic disease of which only 200 cases have been reported worldwide since it was discovered in 1922. Those who suffer from it develop problems in their hands and feet, as abnormal tissues that resemble tree bark begin to sprout. Due to this appearance, this disease is also known as tree man disease. Meet James Cook, the amazing British artist who makes beautiful drawings using only a typewriter. This architecture student became interested in this strange discipline after reading about Paul Smith. The realism of his drawings is so astonishing that no one would guess they were made with a typewriter. James holds exhibitions and even accepts commissions for drawings that range from $180. Meet Scott Dow, a wood artist who draws inspiration from nature to create unique sculptures using a variety of techniques and tools that allow him to mold and shape raw materials, creating pieces that reflect the beauty and complexity of the natural world. The most curious and incredible thing is that all his works are made from a single piece of wood. Impressive! In New Zealand, there is a peculiar tourist attraction known as Bradona. This fence, located in a rural area, has become an iconic place after passers-by began hanging bras on it in 1998. Over time, the number of bras has increased significantly, making it a site of interest for visitors from all over the world. Despite its popularity, there has been disagreement about the value of the attraction. Do you know the fascinating violin mantis? A unique species of insect belonging to the Empusidae family. Native to South Asia, it is found in countries such as India, Java, Burma, Sri Lanka, and Thailand. Its name is due to its strange shape, reminiscent of a violin. This mantis is an example of the diversity and complexity of nature. In the 1930s in London, an innovative invention called the baby cage became popular. It consisted of a baby bed inside a wire frame suspended from the windows of urban apartments. Known as the health cage, its purpose was to provide babies with fresh air and sunlight while they grew up in the dense urban environment of the British capital. The Waitomo Caves in New Zealand are home to a unique natural phenomenon. Inside the caves is a species of bioluminescent worm that lights up the ceiling of the caves. These worms, larvae of the Arachnocampa luminosa insect, have the ability to emit a bright light to attract their prey. They use a mucus thread to catch them and then eat them. This natural spectacle is a wonder that attracts visitors from all over the world. This is Bian Lian, an ancient Chinese art that involves rapidly changing masks to portray different emotions and characters, creating a unique visual and theatrical experience that defies perception and reality. Also known as face changing, this ancient art allows performers to transform into different characters in an instant, revealing a new story, a new personality, and a new mystery with each mask change. A fascinating and deadly phenomenon occurs when a group of blind army ants lose their way and start following each other in circles without finding a way out. This happens when the ants, guided by the pheromones they emit, become disoriented and start following their own chemical footprints or those of another ant, creating a lethal pattern that leads them to spin endlessly until they exhaust themselves. Finally, exhausted and without direction, the ants succumb. victims of their own perseverance and the intriguing phenomenon known as the death circle. The most famous scientist in history, Marie Curie, is buried in the Pantheon in Paris, but her tomb hides an astonishing detail. Her coffin is lined with lead to protect visitors from radiation. Yes, you heard right. Due to her work with radioactive elements, her remains will continue to emit radiation for another 1,500 years. Imagine, another 1,500 years. They are certainly a fascinating reminder of the legacy and risks involved in her revolutionary work. Duda Lozano is a Brazilian artist who has revolutionized the tattoo world with his innovative embroidery effect tattoo technique. Using fine, delicate lines, Lozano creates designs that appear to be embroidered into the skin rather than tattooed. His unique style combines the tradition of embroidery with the modernity of tattooing, generating works of art that appear to pop out of the skin. With meticulous attention to detail and exceptional skill, Lozano has managed to create a three-dimensional effect that gives the impression that the designs are stitched into the skin rather than simply tattooed. This is the Hummer H1X3, a truly massive vehicle with extraordinary dimensions. It measures 6.6 meters in height, 14 meters in length, and 6 meters in width, making it a giant on wheels. Its enormity is impressive, and its presence on the road must be truly striking. It is like a tank on wheels, but with a unique design and style that makes it stand out even more. Meet a mecha, the world's most advanced robot that looks like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Created by Engineered Arts, this robot can not only hold a fluid conversation thanks to its advanced voice recognition and natural language processing, but it also amazes with its realistic facial expressions and smooth movements that mimic humans. Imagine a machine that learns and adapts to its environment, improving with every interaction. Whether in education, customer service, or research, Ameca is ready to conquer any field, making it the perfect companion to explore the future of robotics. This is the T2 standing chair, a device designed to help people with reduced mobility to stand up safely and comfortably. It is not just a chair, but a tool that facilitates access to everyday activities, allowing you to enjoy life from a more upright position. Yamaha has taken future motorcycles to the next level with the Motoroid 2. This amazing machine not only has a futuristic design, but can also balance itself and follow you around like a robotic pet. With built-in artificial intelligence, the Motoroid 2 recognizes its owner and responds to gesture commands. It's like having a motorcycle that combines the agility of a superbike with the intelligence of a personal assistant. The legs of owls and barn owls are longer than you might think, although they usually hide them under their feathers. Did you know that there are people who see the world this way? This peculiar condition is called prosopagnosia and can be caused by blows, tumors, infections, or traumas in the brain. This disease causes the affected person to be unable to recognize facial features. Did you know that there is a tree that can generate electricity? It's called the wind tree, and it's an innovative creation designed to capture wind energy in an aesthetic and functional way. Invented by the French company New Wind, this artificial tree is equipped with multiple leaves that are actually small wind turbines, which spin in the wind even in gentle breezes, generating electrical energy that can be used to power lights, charge devices, or even contribute to the local power grid. Imagine finding these tiny objects that at first glance might look like starfish, but are actually Nymphalis antiopa butterfly eggs carefully laid on a leaf. Each of these tiny eggs measures just 1 millimeter. If you come across them, it is important to remember that they should be left in place and not disturbed to allow them to continue their natural life cycle. This is the world's largest piano, and it was built by Adrian Mann, a young man from New Zealand. This impressive instrument measures over 5.7 meters long, and this is how Spike Edney from the famous band Queen sounds on it. This is what skating was like in France in 1923. Wouldn't you like to try it? I would. In Japan, there are musical roads that play melodies when you drive on them at a specific speed. These roads have grooves cut at different depths and distances, allowing the car's tires to produce musical notes as they pass over them. This ingenious idea not only adds a touch of fun to driving, but also serves as a reminder to maintain a constant and safe speed. Did you know that white rainbows exist? This phenomenon occurs when water droplets in the air are so small and uniform that sunlight refracts in a special way, creating a rainbow that appears completely white. It is a rare but amazing natural spectacle. Greenland, the place where icebergs are bigger than skyscrapers and where it is normal to eat raw meat, has an even stranger peculiarity: wife swapping. Wife swapping was a common practice, both for reasons of pure pleasure and for commercial interests. The populations lived very isolated from each other, which reduced genetic exchange and increased inbreeding. A woman impregnated by a foreigner brought new blood to the tribe, something that was always welcomed. Likewise, offering one's wife was a gesture of appreciation and friendship, and rejecting her could be considered an insult. Have you ever wondered how the medicine we take knows where it hurts and where it should cure us? It turns out that, for example, a pill we swallow reaches the stomach, where it dissolves and reaches the epithelial cells until it reaches the blood vessels, which transport it to the liver and finally to the circulatory system, allowing it to reach the organs and tissues. The medicines we take are distributed throughout the body, not just in the part that hurts us, so the side effects can be considerable. In the case of ointments, drops, and injected antibodies, these act in a more localized way, thus reducing the side effects. These are solar tubes capable of bringing natural light to the darkest areas of your home. This invention from the company, Solar Tube, can illuminate a room even on a cloudy day or at night. To achieve this, they created a dome that is installed on the outside of the house and that captures and amplifies the light, which travels through a tube lined with a reflective material. In addition, it has a solar panel and batteries to illuminate at night. These tubes can transport light up to 40 feet away, allowing you to have natural light in a closed environment without windows. Pay less for electricity bills? Would you like to have one? Because I do. These images are not the product of artificial intelligence, but are real. These attractions are robotic creations developed by the company B-Top Culture Technology, a leader in the development of high-tech cultural and tourist products. Some of these attractions are up to 15 meters high, and among them you can find dinosaurs, horses, and even a dragon. According to the affordability ranking compiled by Global Petrol Prices, an energy data collection and analysis project, Qatar is the country with the cheapest fuel in the world. The price of gasoline is $2.40 per gallon, and it is a very high-quality fuel. Given Qatar's economic level, this is very cheap for its inhabitants. It is so affordable that you can fill up a pickup truck for less than the price of a Starbucks coffee. Did you know that if gum gets stuck in your hair, you should dip it in Coke? Yes, dip it in Coke for 5 minutes, and the gum will come out easily. Let me know in the comments if this ever happened to you. In Australia, they have one of the plagues that, thank God, I have not seen, and I hope I never do. Spider plagues that come in all sizes and with all kinds of poisons. This is caused by the heavy flooding in the country. Spiders seeking to escape use ballooning or spider flight, where they fly using silk threads to catch the air currents in their path. In certain places, spiders fall from the sky as if it were snowing. Some companies are using sand to keep warm. Renewable energy has the problem that there is not always wind and sun, but sand has a huge capacity to concentrate heat, to the point that you can heat a cup of coffee with the help of sand. In Finland, faced with a possible energy shortage due to the gas and electricity cut in Russia, the Finns are using sand batteries, which are heated by renewable energy such as solar panels, and use the air to transport the heat from the sand, and thus heat homes. This is the new AI chess, and it's so cool that it lets you play with someone anywhere in the world, or with the AI itself. The board has sensors and technology that move the pieces underneath it. It also has a lighting system that lets you see possible moves and advises you on what move to make. You can also choose challenges and dares to beat. It has voice commands to play and save a game to continue later with a friend. I'd love to buy one. How about you? The famous holograms seen in movies could now be a reality. The VX1 is a 3D volumetric display that can show interactive 3D volumes of light, made up of millions of tiny voxels that can play pre-rendered animations. This device, created by the company Voxon Photonics, is capable of playing interactive 3D holograms and projecting three-dimensional holographic images. This robot has the ability to perform complex movements such as getting up from a prone position, absorbing physical impacts, and performing delicate tasks such as cracking nuts or opening soda bottles. This demonstrates its extraordinary agility thanks to its force control and manipulation capacity. It can also simulate human hands to grasp objects with precision. In Italy, some banks accept cheese as collateral for loans, storing it while its value increases. This is the case of Mauro, a cheese producer who produces 20,000 cheeses a year. Parmigiano Reggiano is a very special cheese that needs to be aged for 18 to 36 months, and one cheese can cost thousands of dollars, making this cheese a safe long-term investment and guarantee. For some years now, Japan has been hosting a relaxation tournament known as the Tokyo Space Out Competition, where hundreds of people try to achieve a state of total relaxation. Participants must avoid any increase in heart rate and are not allowed to sleep, as one of the key criteria for winning is to stay awake but completely relaxed. Costumes and all kinds of accessories are allowed, adding a touch of originality and humor to the tournament. You are looking at Dominican Wellington Colon, who has great footwork skills. Just look at his ability to pull off this tattoo. Probably better than many you have seen. Did you know that there are underwater wines? This new trend is growing rapidly as they not only go through the traditional production process, but are also aged under the sea, even after being put in wooden barrels. The aging takes place in bottles, submerged at a depth of about 24 meters, and they can remain there from 8 months to several years. Thanks to the unique conditions of the sea, such as light, temperature, and water movement, the wines evolve differently. However, the taste of the wine does not become salty. In addition, the bottles acquire a unique appearance, which makes them an excellent decorative option. This is Henry, a golden retriever who carries his rubber duck as emotional support during his hydrotherapy sessions, helping him recover from his injuries. An unconditional friend with whom he also enjoys afternoons in the pool. In Shenzhen, China, 8,100 drones set a Guinness record with a spectacular show. These drones generated figures and patterns never seen before, because the more drones there are, the better the definition of the figures they want to show. Just look at how they recreated a television, where each drone works as a pixel. It is undeniable that the drone show looks fabulous, but they say that drones can replace fireworks. Let me know your opinion in the comments. A startup in Silicon Valley has achieved the first communication between two humans in dreams. This achievement was thanks to REM space, which, using specialized equipment, managed to get participants to exchange a message while they slept. The breakthrough consisted of sending and receiving a word through lucid dreams monitored remotely by brainwave sensors and REM space's dream language. Now, it is only expected that this application will be used commercially, and who knows, with people who are in a coma. In the Netherlands, there is a sport called vierljeppen. This curious sport is based on a pole vault to cross rivers, whose origin is the ancestral need to cross. That's all for today. See you in the next video.